how much I wish today with my cancer diagnosis that I had stuck to the carnivorous diet when I was 40. Can you imagine how much I want to beat myself up over that decision right now?
We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it, and I know.
Hi everyone, it's Big Northern Bear. I'm making this video so that I can just answer a bunch of people at once who are showing great concern for my health, which I much appreciate. And because of this concern they have for my health, they're giving me advice that they feel is good advice for them from their point of view to switch to a carnivore diet. And I have some reasons. I mean, I contemplated doing the carnivore diet first. I have some reasons for not doing so. So I just want to share those reasons with everyone so that you all understand why I've settled on my 4-to-1 ketogenic diet. Okay? So this is, I mean, all the advice, I assume whoever's offering it just has the best intentions for me. And I don't assume people are just being ideological, because I realize people have had a lot of success with the carnivorous diet. A lot of names have been thrown my way as examples, including Pablo Kelly, who's mostly carnivore. So let me go through my reasons. But before I hop into it, I want to show you my art project, okay? Just give me 10 seconds. So here's my MRI of the cancer. I ordered this brain model on Amazon because I'm trying to learn anatomy of the brain and a little bit of basic neurology so that when I start my live stream, I don't get left in the dust when people start talking about brain anatomy. So upon this brain model, I took my MRI and measuring tape and mapped out my tumor. So this is the right side of my brain where my tumor was. My Anaplastic Pleomorphic Xanthoastrocytoma tumor. And then you can also see I have the side view. So I went into the MRI for the side view. Now the white is my tumor. And the black is on the MRI area where there was a lot of edema and some hemorrhaging. So I just made this tumor model. I'm bringing it with me to radiation tonight because my doctor's going to be there. One of my oncologists is going to show it to him. And I want to find out how well I did. See if I would get an A in his class. So what do you think? I think this is a great teaching tool for the channel. $40. It's kind of a no-brainer. So anyway, it was a fun little project this morning. I find with the tumor that me doing logical problem solving actually really tires me out, but doing creative tasks like this one is almost therapeutic, including editing videos. I find to be therapeutic. Anything where I can just be creative and free form and not be put on rails and do my own thing, I find almost therapeutic to do, which is partly why I've been putting out so many videos lately, because for me it's a form of therapy, plus it lets me talk through my issues with an interested audience, which is also a form of emotional therapy for me. So anyway, back to the subject at hand. Pardon for the notes, because I do sometimes, my memory is not what it was 2 months ago. So the notes, make sure I haven't left out anything important. I want to start with a disclaimer saying my cancer is the rarest of the rare for brain cancers, okay? Anaplastic Pleomorphic Xanthoastrocytoma. It's maybe something like one and a half out of 10,000 tumors or something like that. Turns out to be what I have. And I actually have a pediatric cancer, which is really rare in a 54-year-old man. My cancer is so rare. There's no guidelines to treat it. There's no evidence base for anything. There's certainly no diet studies for my tumor. You'll find diet studies for glioblastomas and the more common tumors. You just won't find it for my tumor. I can't even find a case study, a single case study. I find case studies for astrocytomas, which are a little different than mine, for a ketogenic diet. So I'm sort of imagining that maybe I'm in the same club as someone with glioblastoma or astrocytoma. So I think my lifestyle choices are to shift my outcome in a direction that it would go in if I had one of the more common tumors, because really, I mean, it's all a wing and a prayer at this point. And again, I just want to say that I appreciate everyone offering me advice. It's coming from a genuine place of concern for my health, and God bless you. I thank you for that. Okay, so let me get into my thinking. It's not good for me right now, especially when I'm not functioning at my best and likely won't be for a long time thanks to upcoming radiation, to be on a diet where I constantly feel denied and tempted to stray. Because the worst thing I could do is adopt the more strict carnivore diet and then end up cheating on a frequent basis and just setting back all the progress I made there. So that doesn't help anyone. I would rather just honestly do a more flexible diet and stick to it with consistency and have sort of that genetic expression on full time with no breaks, even if the genetic pressure on the tumor is a little less than I might get with another by walking another path. At least it'll be constant and consistent. My goal is to keep insulin as low as possible and to keep mTOR running at the lowest rate possible, in hopes that the cancer won't regrow because they remove 95% of the tumor. So I'm trying to prevent regrowth with radiation and diet and exercise right now. My daily routine is a 4-to-1 ketogenic diet. In the morning, I do a fasted 5-kilometer walk. I do 2 1-mile walks again later in the day, usually after a meal. Again, it's all about keeping blood sugar and insulin. And I've started yesterday, I did my first stationary bike ride. So now I have a way to progress my cardio. As I approach 6 weeks from surgery, I'm looking to do more cardio. So I might start treadmill intervals with incline walks shortly, but I have to avoid stuff like running and weightlifting for at least 2 more months, which sucks because I was a champion powerlifter. I'm frickin' jonesing to get back in the gym, let me tell you. So I'd just like you all to consider that this is my fight and these are my weapons to pick up for the war I'm going to. And I need to choose the weapon I'm most comfortable with. And that's really what it boils down to. I appreciate you guys are all offering me what you see as a more potent weapon. But if I'm not comfortable swinging the damn thing, I mean, what good is it? It's not, in the long run, it's not the right choice for me. So, and it's not good for me to be on a diet where I do feel denied, and I would. And the reason I know this is because in my early 40s, I was carnivore. I was carnivore for a year and a half. And to prove that zero carb wasn't a problem for me, I actually went straight meat only for 6 months. And then I ran an off-road half marathon. I'll throw some pictures up now of that time. I went and ran 2 laps around Lake Laurentian in Sudbury, and I took pictures and shared it in my Facebook group the whole time. Back in my 40s, I was really into the primal paleo blogging sphere. That was my hobby at the time. And I was like one of the carnivore crowd, um, trying to compete in that space. I had a website called Primal North, and I had some recipes. In fact, if you've ever seen the recipe for chocolate blubber that went viral, I invented that. So you can go look for Primal North chocolate blubber. You'll probably find my old recipe floating around. I know it's in Pinterest a lot. People have saved it. So I created chocolate blubber to have travel fat, basically. So that's my history with the carnivorous diet. So I'm very familiar with its power and how well it works. But also looking back, I didn't stick to it. Can you imagine how much I wish today with my cancer diagnosis that I had stuck to the carnivorous diet when I was 40? Can you imagine how much I want to beat myself up over that decision right now? But life happens. I went through a very difficult breakup. And in fact, during the time, I just couldn't take the social media pressure from having the Primal North blog and website. And so I ended up just deleting the whole thing and just leaving that whole chapter of my life behind me. And unfortunately, I threw out the carnivore diet with that. And you can just imagine how much I regret right now that I hadn't just stayed on some version of a ketogenic diet for the last 10 years. Okay, so that was like 13 years ago. Imagine how different I'd look and feel today and possibly be cancer free. I mean, those thoughts go through my head. But when you're given a cancer diagnosis and they can't even tell you how long you're likely to live, you look back at your life with a lot of regrets. How much I wish I hadn't smoked in 20 years of my life. How much I wish I hadn't used junk food liberally like I did throughout my life. I mean, it's an endless list of shit you can beat yourself up over, and it's pointless to do it. But for me, I always regretted going off the carnivore diet because I actually felt my best. But history, my own track record has proven when I get under a lot of stress, I can't stick to a diet that strict. So I know that about myself, and that's my decision. And so my decision is not a reflection at all on the potency of a carnivorous diet. It's more about understanding my own limitations and my own willpower. And also, damn it, I like having coffee. I like having herbs and spices on my meat. I like having the odd keto dessert. I like using sweetener now and then. And my diet gives me that 5% room to move that to me makes it tolerable and sustainable. So that's basically the main reason why. So, like I said, I did run a half marathon on a zero carb diet back in the day. Now, in terms of research, I have to say, if you just go out scouring the PubMeds of the world and you go look for a ketogenic diet for cancer versus a zero carb carnivorous diet for cancer, there's a lot more research to look at and a lot more case studies for the 4-to-1 ketogenic diet, thanks in part to decades of work by the Charlie Foundation and organizations like this, of course, Thomas Seyfried and researchers of that caliber. I mean, carnivore guys, I mean, keep pushing your diet, get it into more research, and people like me are more likely to come across it along with oncologists. So, I mean, anecdotal is not going to cut it in the cancer world. We need to get the studies out there. And people like Thomas Seyfried will testify to that. It's very hard to get acceptance. So the only way to do that is with a lot of studies. Unfortunately, the ketogenic diet's in the same boat there. So I have a lot of sympathy for that. Another reason I'm not so worried about eliminating all plants, I have a lot of people tell me I absolutely have to eliminate all plants. I don't have any autoimmune issues, okay? I don't have any foods that trigger me or give me problems. I would say the only food that triggers me is nut butter or nuts. They will stimulate my appetite to hell. So I try to avoid all that. Now and then my little cheat right now is I have powdered peanut butter. I'll sometimes mix it into whipping cream and get that peanut butter taste without getting all the peanutty stuff that triggers me. That seems to be a way I can hit that craving now and then, and that works pretty good for me. My way of eating has to work for me and both my quality of life, because I don't know how long I have on this earth. Okay, they won't give me a timeline or even a guess. So quality of life is very important to me, and so is doing something that I can do until my last day on this planet. And if I can't do a diet till my last day, if I'm having my last meal, I want it to be on the diet I'm doing. Okay, so again, I do appreciate everyone's advice, even those who argued with me over it, as I realize it come from a place of caring. And I will just want to thank you all for looking in on me, praying for me, sending your prayers, and understand that I might try carnivore like in a 30-day experiment, 60-day, and just. I'm open. Right now, I'm just not there. Everything's still new and moving fast for me. And I'm honestly recovering slowly. So, I'm just not there yet. Okay. But I might do experiments down the road. And the way to find out, of course, is subscribe to my channel. Let's see what happens, right? As well, I just remind everyone, I registered a new domain name, battlingbraincancer.com. And that points to my existing blog, which I've updated to include my cancer content. So you can sign up for email alerts at alerts.battlingbraincancer.com. And now you get an alert no matter where I post any of my videos, both my AFib videos and my cancer videos, or any other content that I create, always goes to my emailing list first, including the live streams that I'll be starting soon. As some of you know, I've been doing live streams for 2 years on YouTube. I'm pretty proficient at it. I have a pretty good setup. My live streams have a good look and sound, intro videos, graphics, the whole works. And now I'm going to be bringing that format to the brain cancer community. So I'm looking for guests. So if you stuck through this video this far, if you're fighting brain cancer or some other form of cancer, especially with a ketogenic diet or other lifestyle modifications, you'd like to come on the show and discuss that with me, I would just love to host you. As well, if you're dealing with a brain cancer, a difficult cancer, and you don't have a cancer buddy, I'm here for you. You can email me at bignorthernbear@gmail.com. We can be cancer buddies, okay? So everyone, thanks for watching. If you're watching this on Twitter, don't forget to follow. If you're watching it on YouTube, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And please share the video if you think this content will help someone understand, or perhaps they're facing a decision of their own, which diet to pick to fight their cancer. And, maybe they want a more balanced view or more practical view. Hopefully I provided that in this video. So again, thank you all. And this afternoon, I'm off to get fitted for my goalie mask or radiation treatment. So I'm kind of nervous about it. We'll see how that goes. If anything's probably going to make another video. Okay. Thanks. Have a great day. This is your friend, Big Northern Bear,